public domain.
Welcome to What the F***, the Super Bowl for the Mentally Challenged. Let's get a preview of tonight's show from Timothy Walton in our legal department. Timothy, what do we have in store for tonight's show?
Good evening, Jim. We have a number of questions that we would like to have answered tonight. For example, does constant online activity make a young person's brain lazy? Does a robot restaurant with mechanical slave labor make a young person's body lazy? Does praising a child make that young person lazy in general? And also, what if the kids today just make you sick? Can you sue?
Thanks, Timothy. We'll get back to you at the end of the show. And notice there are no kids on the panel. But what has 8 legs, 4 brains, and an IQ over 400? No, it's not a mutant spider. It's our panel. In the far chair, she's International Woman of Intrigue, Cynthia Gregory. She's so mysterious, Sherlock Holmes has yet to figure her out. In the middle chair, she's a nurse and a member of the comedy troupe, the Suburban Squirrels. It's Frankie J. She's so sharp, tires consider her a road hazard. In between them, it's amateur artist and extremely minor league hockey player Bill Morgan. If wit was cocaine, supermodels would blow him after the show. Finally, sitting next to me is project manager Kate Swanson. She's so charming, cobras play flutes to keep her from biting them. Issue number 1. Will we fry our noodle if we constantly Google? In 2008, journalist Nicholas Carr wrote a story in the Atlantic magazine speculating that incessant distractions from the internet like instant messages, Facebook updates, and text don't bode well for the brain. He wrote, quote, "The price of zipping among lots of bits of information is a loss of depth in our thinking," unquote. Researchers have discovered young people don't retain information as well as older folks, but other researchers have discovered that Googling may enhance brain circuitry. For more, we turn to a baby monkey with a smartphone. Smartphone monkey, your thoughts?
What is that phone doing?
Was that monkey speaking French? That was amazing.
I know. He still beats me at Angry Birds. I think I owe him some money. But anyways. All right, Cynthia. Googling, good or bad for the brain? What's your thought?
Well, when it comes to the kids, I think it's the criticism against children is probably a generational thing. I mean, every older generation always thinks the younger generation is just completely nuts and they're not going to be able to make anything of their lives. So I think that's kind of a non sequitur. But honestly, I think Google makes me personally, exceptionally smart. I win all my bar bets so long as I can get to my Google app.
Is that how you do, is that how you make friends too?
Exactly so.
Oh, okay.
Exactly so.
Do you think the young kids are messing around their brains?
No, actually I don't. I think they're, I kind of think about the kids today are saving their brains for the stuff that's really important. You might remember on Star Trek, like they had the computers do all the really grunt work for them, and they could think about big things like how to make the warp drive work. I'm pretty sure this generation is going to be able to let go of basic mathematics, let the computers help them figure out how to do warp drive.
Because those Facebook posts so prove that point.
Exactly right.
Frankie, what's your thought?
Oh, I totally agree. I think that the younger generation is really innovative. I mean, having to think up something very intelligent and quick in 60 characters is amazing to me. Anybody that does that all day long, pretty cool. I think their wiring is doing just fine.
Have you seen their Twitters or tweets?
No.
Okay, so you really think that's clever?
Well, what I can see, you know, when you Google all these acronyms and things like that, those are clever.
Okay, LOL and LAMAO.
But some of the ones that are not those. Those are mundane things.
Oh, you mean the ones that are not safe for discussion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you know what a BBC is then, right?
Yes, I love that station.
No. That's not what the BBC is.
I see. Oh, well.
Phil, as an artist, what's your take on this?
Well, you know, I used to hear the same things when I was a kid, you know, that Google will mess with your mind. And I thought, what's wrong with Barney Google and Snuffy Smith?
Oh, as opposed to what you were doing on a Friday night?
Yeah, well, that's a completely different story.
Okay.
That did ruin my life, in fact.
All right, but so
I'm here, aren't I? I mean,
well, yeah,
is there any more evidence of a life gone wrong?
well, you should get a better lawyer because this is community service. You have other options besides doing the show.
I suppose, but I have fair skin and out in the sun picking up the trash. It's not a good thing for me. It's dark in here.
Orange jumpsuit just doesn't do the curves right.
Like the one you're wearing. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Well, All right, Kate, and your take?
Well, I'm worried that kids are going to Google. They think if they Google it and they find it on the internet, it's true.
Right.
So.
You mean it isn't?
Not everything. You're going to need some adult supervision somewhere telling you that's not true. Don't go jump off a roof.
Adult supervision?
Wow. It's hard to find.
I know it's hard to find. Well, wait a minute. So what if someone, I'll throw this out to the panel, if we're constantly Googling for our information, what if someone actually was able to control Google and then just like all of a sudden change the information that's on Google? How would you know?
Don't they do that on Wikipedia already?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
so
that doesn't bother you guys in any way?
Well, I don't know. Truthiness managed to get a good definition through, a crowdsourcing mentality. Maybe we need to change the truth, and crowdsourcing is a way to do it.
Well, wait a minute. But if all of a sudden, Google tells you 2 + 2 = 4, and then all of a sudden you look and it's 2 + 2 = 5, with that, and we are bad at retaining information because of it, wouldn't that be bad?
Would it be a bad world if 2 + 2 = 5? Would it be a bad world? I don't think we're ruining the world when 2 + 2 = 5.
It would help my paycheck immeasurably.
Yeah, see?
Oh, that's a great
that's not a
idea.
bad
Matter of fact, 2
My
+ 2
personal
should equal
income
6 as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, how can we get this started? Because can I bring up my Google now? Maybe we could start
Jim
it.
If we
is
did 2
very
+ 2 =
politically
5.
influential. I'm sure he could get something
There you
going.
go.
Okay.
But what if
Maybe
it's,
somehow my mortgage could go down because 2 + 2 = 5, and the years would not accumulate but drop.
But what if,
off.
what if
2
it,
+ 2 =
what if it
3.
applied badly to you and it increased
No,
your
it
bills?
can only be
Well,
on
that's the beauty of it.
plus
You can
side.
change it the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Which 2 + 2 would equal 1.
And then it'd just be all crazy talk, right?
Yeah, sort of like this show.
They're like this.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Like it isn't now.
All right. Issue number 2, or is it issue number 3? Because we're re-googling it. When you order gelato from Mr. Roboto, a restaurant in Harbin, Heilongjiang province in China, yeah, it took me a long time to pronounce that, is using 20 robots to wait tables, cook dumplings and noodles, usher diners, and entertain them. Open since June of 2012, the restaurant has gained in popularity. According to the engineer that designed the robots can work continuously for 5 hours after a 2-hour charge. Last year, San Francisco-based company Momentum Machines announced plans for a new fast food restaurant chain where all the cooking is done entirely by robots, with a burger-making machine that is capable of making 350 hamburgers per hour, or as they say, one really large Happy Meal. But there are some things that only people can do.
Alright, it's recording.
I'll load it.
It's recording.
You got
You
hold of it.
recorded
Wait,
that
no.
last time?
No,
I didn't record it. No way.
Yeah, he beats those kids that can stack those pyramids of cups by a mile. So, anyways. All right, hey, Bill.
Yes.
Robot-run restaurants. Good idea or bad idea?
I don't know if you've been into a fast food restaurant lately, but I'm pretty sure that's been going on for years.
They don't look like robots. They look like teenagers.
Well, yeah. Very similar in my book.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't worry. I'm hearing the director, so it's like. But anyways, so then Kate. So yeah, good idea or bad idea then?
I think it's a good idea for easy tasks, making burgers. There's not a lot of skill that goes into making burgers at fast food restaurants anyway, so why have a human do it? They might spit in it.
Bill?
I don't agree with that. I spent a full 30 days working for a McDonald's some 40 years ago, and I got to tell you, it ain't easy.
He's telling he's giving away his age. He said 40 years ago, right?
Yes. It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Wow.
But so you think it's a good idea? But
There were only 100 sold at that point.
Really? 100 burgers.
Yeah, Ronald McDonald was sitting here chasing after
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
what is it, a brontosaurus? Is that
Yeah.
right, or a mammoth or whatever with a club?
Yeah.
You're one of those people that believes that dinosaurs and humans were on the earth at the same time. I've read about your religion.
There you go. There you go. But you think it's an okay idea for certain types of restaurants?
Certain types of restaurants.
So
yeah.
you wouldn't expect robots at the Ritz, right?
I wouldn't expect robots at the Ritz, and I'm not going to pay Ritz prices for robots.
Okay. What would you tip a robot waiter?
I wouldn't tip a robot waiter.
You wouldn't tip a robot waiter?
Maybe some cell phone charging.
Oh, okay. Or maybe like a little battery?
A little
like
battery.
Like a 9-volt or
yeah.
whatever? Frankie, your thoughts?
Well, I like the idea of a 2-hour charge lasting 5 hours. I've had other ideas, but anyway, that was appealing to
That's just a
I can
robot.
see that.
Well, sometimes your partners just act like robots, so it really wouldn't matter. But here's the thing, what we do is
Ooh,
When
I'm
it-
sorry,
now
Frankie.
that you worry about waiters spitting in your soup or your
Right.
entree because you made some off-the-wall remark about their wine, well, now maybe you'll get a silicone chip and you'll break a tooth. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Does this hamburger taste
The way
oily?
you took that conversation, we're wondering if there's robot sexual harassment suits coming.
Oh, something new.
Something new.
I have no idea.
That's all right. It does not compute that opening. That port is not set for that input device. There you go. Cynthia, what's your thoughts?
Well, I do like the aspect that potentially robots could be more sterile in their preparation of food, but I do worry about what might actually show up in the food afterwards, where we're used to seeing maybe fingernails and hair and maybe the occasional finger. I think we would be a little worried about getting this odd silicon chip or nuts or bolts that could really break our teeth. So
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
my biggest concern is, what would end up in my food.
All right, and Bill, would you be concerned about your loss of minimum wage jobs?
I think I'd be more concerned about whether or not the robot restaurants have robot rats, or do they keep the real ones?
Oh, that's true. You got a point there. And hopefully the robots don't form a union, because then that's how they take over the planet, right?
Yeah, and sue us.
And then sue us. No, I don't think we can have robot lawyers. God forbid, no robot lawyers. But because Timothy would single-handedly prevent robot lawyers, but yeah, I didn't know that robot was underage either, Bill. Oh, we're back. Sorry. Issue number 3. Heaven forbid that she has a fear of kids. Maria C. Walther Willard, an Ohio school teacher, is suing her school district, saying that it discriminated against her on the basis of her disability, a phobia of young children. She had worked as a high school French and Spanish teacher, but alleges that the school district reassigned her to teach junior high or middle school as a way of pushing her out the door. The 61-year-old claims the school district knew of her condition and still assigned her to teach younger age students. We sent Mike and Sven over to her house to help her with her condition.
Hi, ich bin's Michel und ich bin Sven und wir zeigen euch heute unseren ultimativen Trick.
Well, Mike is probably feeling bad because I think Sven's dead. But anyways,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure she's gotten over fear of children now, right? That was adorable. All right. Hey, Frankie,
Yeah.
I think the term is pedophobia. So, for real or a scam?
What, this broad?
Yeah, or just a fear of
This
children.
61-year-old broad's in the middle of some menopausal something or other. I mean, give me a break. Why would anybody who's got a diagnosis of not being able to hang out with kids go into teaching? I ask you. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard, and she's a stupid lady.
Is that your medical opinion as a nurse?
That's just right out of my frontal lobe, folks.
Okay, so you think could this be the possible worst career choice ever?
Yeah.
Can you think?
And this broad she shouldn't have even been allowed to put this lawsuit up there. It should never have been. When one attorney took on this lawsuit,
I'm not
that's
sure. if
another
you're an attorney
dumb person.
Uh-huh.
See? Perpetuating her.
But
She's
that's what
nuts.
lawyers are all
But-
about,
but-
making more money.
See?
But can you possibly think of a worst possible career choice then, other than this one?
For her?
No, just in general.
Oh, in general, yeah. Slinging horse baloney.
They have robots to do that now.
See?
Robot. So like
good.
for you supervising a robot at McDonald's,
Pardon me?
like you supervising the robot at McDonald's after
That would be really horrible.
because you use up their 5-hour charge.
I'd figure out a way what port to find.
You would find the appropriate port to
I would.
insert.
Hot dogs come in handy.
Okay.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay. Whoa. Kate,
Down
so
with
you,
the
Yes.
you buying this? Fear of children for real?
You know, I have to admit something.
Yes.
I have a little bit of this. I'm afraid of children in large quantities.
Okay.
So I'm okay one-on-one, maybe 2, 3, but if you had 30 kids and me and they were going crazy, I would just shut down. I would go comatose.
You mean like kind of like with Bill with cats?
What?
Apparently.
Yeah. Or Timothy with large numbers of blonde women.
He shuts down, does he?
No, he just freaks out.
Okay.
He doesn't because
In a good way?
He only has $1, so he doesn't know how to spend it. He's gonna give you grief for that.
Yeah.
I know. Cynthia, you buying this?
Well, I actually don't believe her story because she teaches teenagers, and first graders are easy compared to having to deal with the rabid, raging hormones of teenagers. And if she can deal with teens, she's got to be able to deal with smaller children. So I think it's a scam. Yeah, I'm right there with Frankie. She is pulling some kind of thing to get her early retirement, and she wants a bonus on the go, and her and her sick lawyer are in on it.
Well, so you're thinking that it's definitely easier to deal with little kids than with teenagers. You mean it's not like a different set of skills.
Well, teenagers, you got to be able to, wield, a lot of strength to be able to deal with teens. Kids are a little bit easier when they're smaller. They're a little more impressionable and will listen to authority. Teens are always bumping up against authority. And if she can deal with teens, she can deal with kids. She can deal with smaller children.
Okay. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Jim.
Think she has kids?
Don't know.
Could you imagine what they would be like if she had kids?
Well, I mean, in terms of dealing with the teenagers, it's a simple matter of a cattle prod or a taser.
That's true.
The smaller children, I don't think you really need much more than a slap across the face.
I don't know. Do they allow corporal punishment in Ohio? I don't know if they allow in California, but I'll leave it at that. Hey, issue number 4. If you give kids fake praise, will it cause malaise? Psychologist Stephen Gross claims that gratuitously praising children with phrases such as, "Well done, darling," unquote, may damage their confidence. He says that, quote, empty praise, unquote, causes children to be unhappy as they feel they cannot live up to the false expectations. Instead, he advises parents and teachers to bestow compliments less frequently and use phrases that congratulate children for trying really hard. For further comment, we turn again to the Wistman Middle School Girls Science and Math Club. Girls, before you start, I just wanted to say you all have very bright futures. Wow, they really did not take a compliment really well. I just, anyway.
No.
All right.
Squealing,
Hey,
raging
Bill.
hormones.
I need to know what the audio was there, or were they just one of those reaction videos you see to people watching two girls in a cup?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, gratuitous praise, good or bad? By the way, good job, Bill.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Good job. You have a bright future, Bill.
I'm not following. Good job. I'm not familiar with this phrase. What does that mean?
Well,
You did well. You're doing well.
Yeah, again, just buzzes and clicks. I've not heard that before. That's weird.
Well, see, even in the 30 days you work at McDonald's?
No, never. They actually used to send stuff back when I was cooking.
Oh, okay. Well, when they sent it back, did you reattach whatever it is you had lost?
No, it was all about it was doing breakfast, and they apparently like their eggs a little runnier than I'm used to cooking them.
Oh, okay.
so you cook them up and then spit them back.
That's right. So you don't know what to make of this, right? You've never been gratuitously praised before.
Not gratuitously, no.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Hey, Cynthia, gratuitous praise for kids, bad.
So I think that this explains the current generation of lawyers.
Okay. How so?
Well, all that false praise, I think, just goaded them on to other situations where they could, get more false praise, which, and take on silly, ridiculous opportunities like this poor woman who claims she has her, phobia of children, It's that kind of misrepresentation by the parents to the child that gets us this kind of mess we're in today.
Well, you think perhaps maybe that woman who has a fear of kids she had a fear of kids because of the false praise that the kids got? Maybe it turned them into monsters?
Oh, well, I suppose currently, you know what? I think that's a really good idea. That may have exactly turned her into the kind of person who's afraid of kids. But you'd think by the time they were teens, though, they would have
reality would have beaten it out of them.
Exactly.
No, that's what your 20s are for. Kate, you buying this?
I am buying it. If you've ever watched American Idol, you'll see kids go on that thinking, my mom tells me I'm the greatest singer, and they can't sing a note. And it's not until they're in front of actual judges on television that reality hits them.
Okay.
But they don't believe it anyway.
So then, does that mean that Kelly Clarkson and Kelly Underwood had tiger moms?
They probably did. They must have been pushed.
There you go. All right.
They didn't have me.
They didn't. Frankie, what's your take?
I think that children know insincerity when they hear it. So if the parents are constantly going, good job, good job, good job, the kids are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Good job. Look at this. It's a goddamn mess. Macaroni is everywhere and you say it's a good job? What's the matter with her anyhow? Oh my God.
Do you do that with kids?
I don't have kids.
Not necessarily your kids. You do that with kids in general. Do you give them full praise? You just tell them they suck.
No, I don't tell them they suck. I listen to what they're saying, and I watch them.
And then you run away?
And are you kidding? I adore kids, and I would never run away from a kid. But I listen to them, and I watch what they're doing, and that motivates my conversation with them.
And then you stick them with a needle, right? This is really going to hurt.
This is really going to hurt. Yeah, really.
Like,
no insincerity, though.
All right.
So you're a truth teller to these kids, absolutely.
All right, we're done with the segment. On to our, Google says third break. You really can't make money switching paternity test samples. Oh, sorry, we're back. Hey. We're at our fact-checking session, and for that we turn to Timothy Walton in our legal department to see where we went wrong tonight. Hey, Timothy, where are we due?
Well, I have to say, once again, I had to do quite a bit of Googling just to bring my intelligence factor down to where the panel is already at. But I'm up to the task, and I have some of the responses that you people have been needing so desperately. For example, Cynthia, I'm sorry, Star Trek is not real. And Kate, I have to wonder, how much adult supervision do you think a 25-year-old needs?
It depends on the 25-year-old.
If it's a really hot 25-year-old dude,
it needs
she's
a lot of attention.
There you go.
Boom.
Not from Frankie.
Wikipedia keeps changing its answer to that question.
That's true.
Funny.
Frankie, you might be interested to note that BBW, PIX are NSFW. Bill,
Yes.
between robots and teenagers is that robots don't leave their socks on the floor.
Okay.
Was that something you asked?
And robots don't get paid living wage.
I don't know.
Probably not health benefits either.
Yeah, but their
No
dental
robots
plan
do.
is
It
awesome.
depends on the employer.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, if they work for Costco, perhaps they get health benefits. The robots. I prefer
Right.
mechanical myself, but that's just me. What else we got?
Well, Jim, you must know, I think we've talked about this before. Robot lawyers are called large firm associates.
Oh, I think we have, but I think I was a large firm associate once, and I didn't feel mechanical at all. I felt more, animal, beaten animal. so to speak. And
Did you have good health benefits?
I don't know. I never took advantage of it. I was just too sick to go.
They might have replaced your battery if you'd asked.
That's true. Yeah. It didn't last 5 hours.
No.
I think I just I had a surge.
That's Frankie's
Frankie, I
fault.
did look this up.
Yeah, no protectors.
The clinical term is not stupid lady, it's dumbass.
Good to know.
I'll remember that for next time.
Hey, that's my girlfriend's pet name. What are you talking about there? You know?
Since when do you have a girlfriend?
She's a robot.
You never met Isis Love. She did some
Isis
fact checking
Love.
before you took over. Oh, speaking of which, I might try to get her back for a show or two. Hopefully, you won't get too upset, right?
Yeah, it's not like it's a large group of blondes that'll freak me out.
Yeah, for $1 he'll do
You
anything.
got to bring more dollar bills to the establishment. You just got to do that.
Maybe you should tip better.
I can't afford the cover, man. What are you talking about? I wish I could afford the cover, let alone the stack of dollar bills. What else we
I
got?
also looked into an issue that Bill raised. Apparently, the consensus online is that tasers are preferable to cattle prods for hurting children because you don't have to get so close.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if they'll do that in a California school, but Ohio, maybe they're a little bit more medieval than we are. Okay, we got a minute left. Timothy, what else we got?
Well, apparently, young children are more dangerous than teenagers, despite what Cynthia said, because young children don't have cell phones to be distracted by yet.
Really? I thought all kids had cell phones.
Not all of them. The frustration and cynicism from not having a cell phone is apparently what leads to law school applications.
Yeah, you know, I didn't have a cell phone before I went to law school. I didn't even have a cell phone while I was in law school. Look at me.
That's right. Look at you. Oh my.
Yeah.
The cell phone hadn't been invented yet, Jim. That's...
Anything else, Timothy?
Frankie, clean up your own macaroni.
Oh.
Jim, good job.
All right, Timothy, thank you very much. I think that's it for the show. And, oh, by the way, for all of us, if you want to send comments, snide remarks, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or send us email, the information will be down here at the bottom third of the screen when the guy that edits the show puts that stuff in. Here he's a jerk. But anyways, till then, thank you, everybody. Later!
You were a lawyer?
I am.
Are you still a lawyer?
I'm still a
Do you
lawyer.
still practice?